in 10th grade and you've taken Algebra 1.
And we have to do 4 years. For somebody got in their head that you have to have out math every year.
So what are you going to do for the rest of it? And why is it...
Why do we have to have Algebra 2? Why does everybody have to learn about asymptotes and summary series and sums and infinite series? And why do we have to prepare for pre-calc? What doctor needs calculus?
Who needs calculus?
Rocket scientists and certain kinds of engineering. Fine. Don't impose that on the rest of us. Let the people who have passions pursue those things with that 2-3 year course content.
But, I mean, I almost think subjects should be thrown out the window.
Integrated curriculum.
And it should be more about teaching skills. Teaching what you have to do at the workplace. Teaching things such as how to take a project from start to finish. These things, I think, are much more important than knowing.
Fabulous course at university was Stanford. 2007, he said you have to make an app for Facebook. 25 students, and virtually every team. It was 25 teams, 3 people per team. Virtually every team made money, and some of them significant figures, like $600,000 over time. And there were silly things like anytime somebody looked at a calendar, you got to know what they looked at or something like that if they signed up for this app. But the fact that it was a project-based learning, I mean, that's the way I'd look at it. Projects, by their nature, have what you're talking about.
Right. Because what in life do we do that's not a project?
Right.
How many people, once you get out of your, all right, my roommate Jeremiah works at he runs a home, it's like a homeless shelter, but people who are coming out, and it's funded by HUD money. Mm-hmm. And the whole idea is that they're trying to get these people to go to work for minimum wage at Walmart.
Okay.
Where he's like
showing up on time, that's a good thing. Cleaning, presenting yourself, being able to work things out to get clean clothes.
But he's like, let's teach them a business. Let's teach them skills to be in a business. And this is all about, I mean, okay, you're a cashier, right? Yes. When you're a cashier, when you're a waiter, you don't have to do a project. Anybody that's above this very minimum level, it's all project based. Mm-hmm. It's all project work.
Right.
So if you want to be successful and make any money, you have to know how to do projects. Mm-hmm. And
if you're a manager, you're basically
that's all you
running
do.
A project. Right.
And you go from one project to or multiple projects.
Mm-hmm. People think of it, well, I've got a job, I'm going to a job. No, you're going to go manage some projects. Mm-hmm. You may not think of it that way, but it's as though we were going to a movie. We're part of a movie, but we're just the sound people. We go in every day and we set up the sound. And pretty soon, we're not going to that location everywhere because the shooting's finished. Uh-huh. They don't need sound people anymore, so we got to go find something else. I think people who grow up in Hollywood probably have a better sense of this. You know, like people in Southern California know somebody in the business, and they know that they're all free agents. They don't have a regular job.
Yeah.
And that must be easier to teach this out there. Here, it's like, well, I'm going to get a job.
We teach people to be factory workers.
Yes. Reliable.
Waiters. Mm-hmm. And clerks. And these things.
Cogs in the machinery.
Yeah, which are noble, not very well-paid professions.
Right. But we need people who are at least able to add up. Hopefully they've got good morals. In a sense, that's what schooling does. By the time you've gotten your high school diploma, it's shown that at least some teachers have said, this person hasn't cheated.
Too many times.
We caught him a couple of times, but it wasn't serious enough to warrant expulsion. So, skills. That's the. Can you? Well, there are some life skills, they call them.
Balancing your checkbook. Is what they
Why
teach
not?
you.
Why not?
That's what I learned in my business class in high school.
The thing that clued me in that there were some old math teachers who were very disgusted with the current state of affairs was that they were no longer teaching just fundamentals of math, which were basically shopping math, how to keep a checkbook, how to write a letter. Where do you put the stamp? Where's the centering of the address to the addressee, and then you're the source of it, so the sender is in the upper left. I've had students who did it the other way around. The sender is placed here, and where it's going to, it's at the top of the page because it's the first thing you see. Okay. Let me take care of that for you.
This is what I think the real fallacy that we're having. It's just the real downfall. Is that
we're going to feel the downfall 20 years from now, because it's the kids of these kids. Well, okay, 30 years.
It's my generation.
You think so?
It's already happened.
It's already happened?
My generation doesn't. My generation does not have that many skills.
People in their mid-30s not having skills. So they have 10-year-olds, more or less. 5-year-olds to 10-year-olds. So in 20 years, those people will be out. I'm saying the children of your generation are, and it's like a half generation for me, those children will really be suffering. And that's where these kind of reforms could make a difference if they were applied. And it probably has to happen pretty soon. So
that's what I'm thinking.
Before your kids become teenagers, they've got to get into this project. And see, we're talking as teachers. Project-based learning. Give me a break. It's skills. They've got to learn skills. Why don't we just say that? They got to learn skills. And it's an integrated process.
We used to, in Romania, we were on the 7-day program. So it's a 7-day schedule. You went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
So Friday is E, and then there's F and G. And then
Monday,
it's A.
Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday.
Yep.
Wednesday is the start of the new cycle.
And you have classes, or you have an hour and a half here, and you have an hour class here. So you may have PE.
Why did they choose 7?
So they could get all the classes in they needed.
Oh, and they were distributing it.
Yeah. So I was a PE teacher, and
Right.
I had some students. I'd have some students on day 6 every time, and I'd have them for an hour and a half.
Right.
And then I'd have them on day 2 for an hour.
Okay. So they distributed.
They distribute. So it went like this. It kind of spiraled. It's kind of spiraled this way, but it was the real world. I mean.
Oh, right. It wasn't. Things don't happen always on Mondays.
How many times do you go and you have? How many times in your daily life do you have 11 o'clock every day? Do you sit down to do math?
Excuse me. And yet, that's the sort of environment, and we impose on the order of the school.
Right.
It's